Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be comparing Glowforge's software, XTool's software, and WeCreate software on import of a design, whether it's your design or from Etsy. Things may vary based on programs that are used. For example, I used Illustrator to create these, and whenever you import it into Inkscape, that could cause this to scale down, and then whenever you import it back into one of these programs, that can cause some scaling issues as well. So those are things that you'll have to work around or find out how it works with your laser software. So just a heads up on that. So we're going to start with Glowforge first and how this imports and how this works and what their software looks like. Super basic software, just a couple buttons here. Once you select an object, you get more buttons off to the side here, such as centering, those kinds of things. You have ruler options to resize. But you do not have a true unite button. Whenever you highlight both of these and you right click, there's group and ungroup, but there's not a true unite. By default though, it does unite all of the fills together, which I like, and I wish every laser software did do that. What I mean by that is if you select the type of material here it's made for, by default, I have it made for this here. It automatically sorts by color and unites these together. For an engrave, it'll basically just do from bottom to top all the way up and engrave. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I don't have to create a compound path out of these for Glowforge. I really like that. That way, if you have to make quick edits, you just ungroup the design, and then you can edit it and then regroup it again. And then by default, it also selects cut for your score, which is really nice. And it can also sort by different colors. So if I had different colors in Illustrator, let's say I made this red line into a blue line, it'll give a different cut operation. And you can then change the colors to like score, for example. And you see the actual outline change to a different color when you have score selected. So that's how this imports on Glowforge here. I really like the way that imports and groups everything and allows it to engrave as one operation the whole way up based on color. And let me show you what I'm talking about here with XTool. So XTool, it also imports based on color of your project. So the fills are black and for engraves, and then the red is a cut, just like I have for this Illustrator here. But it imports everything automatically as a score line here. So everything's automatically as a score on import. So what you need to do is either highlight this and then make all the black a fill, or you can just click on layer 2. It'll select everything all at once if you don't need to move your project. Then you can just click engrave. And the thing that I really like about XTool software is you just go up to combine and they have a unite button, subtract. They have all of this for free without paying for any premium software like Glowforge. And Glowforge doesn't even have a true unite option in the premium software. So this is nice. We'll click unite. Since there's so many objects, it takes just a few seconds to unite it together here. There you go. As you can see, they are all now united as one operation, and it's ready to print instead of all those individual operations here. The one thing that I don't really like is, let's say you're on layer 1. Layer 1 is just red. So if I want to change this to a cut line, because they're by default score, you can see the color doesn't automatically change. So if I want to know that I change this to cut, I'll want to move this to a different layer. So we'll just make the layer blue for cuts. And then you have to do that for each one. So let's say this one I want to change to a cut. Then I have to move it to the blue layer. And then now I know these two are cuts here. So by default, it'd be nice if it was all grouped together, and then I could just click on the red and then click cut, and it would automatically change to blue, kind of like what Glowforges just did. So I knew for a fact that it was automatically like that versus manually moving it, but that's not a big deal. In my opinion, on these three different types of software here, XTool is still coming ahead with everything with all the different features, and we'll get back to that in just a second. But right now we're just talking about the import. So that's pretty much how it imports here. We're going to talk about WeCreates next. WeCreate imports to the center for some reason on their latest software versus where the file is. So as you can see, these 6 pandas are in the top left corner of my file. It should import like this, like it does with XTool or with Glowforge. It imports right on the starting point of the file itself. But WeCreate, some reason, centers your file every time you import. And then it also comes through as just lines. That's all it is just a bunch of lines that are set as a score, or they call just a regular engrave. I don't like this feature at all. I really think that they need to update this for color. I've talked about it in multiple videos now. And then since it centers, I would want to bring this up to the top left of my material. The only way that I found to quickly do this is to hold down Shift and then unclick the actual cut line, and it's almost easier just to highlight one thing at a time. Hold Shift and click that outline, and then change the inlines to a fill engrave. And then there is no unite button within this software, so it's going to do each eye as an operation, his body as an operation, his nose and mouth as an operation. Like this. The only way to correct this is within Illustrator itself. You would have to select your object here, that this is a grouped object. You would then have to click on Object, go down to Compound, and then Make. And then that's all you got to do, and then save the file as this. But then you can't just ungroup the file easily like you could before. That's the only reason why I don't like to do that. But that's what you would do, and then it would import as a solid image, as I've seen in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen that video yet, check that out. But that's how you can avoid this, to make this just one operation instead of multiple on import. But I wanted to show you guys that it does multiple objects on an import for WeCreate here, and it's super annoying because you have to do this for each layer, and you got to make sure everything is selected correctly. Hold Shift and deselect the outside. We'll fill that inside here, and even if you hit group, that's not uniting it together or changing the operation path here. For the outside, you can click on that and choose cut. I do like that it automatically changes the color of the cut to red, and then all the scores, or in this case the word engrave, is orange. So you can at least tell the difference between this. So that's one thing that I do like about this software, is just the color change of the outside line, but that's not even a big deal if you have to manually change it like you do with XTool. So I really hope to see a lot of software improvements with WeCreate coming out. They are a brand new company, so I got to keep that in mind too. While XTool has been around for a long time, and they've well thought out this software, the winner, in my opinion, is XTool, because you just have so much extra options available that you can do. Like, I mean, look at all these options you can do just for the M1 machine. You can do like blade cutting, laser cylindrical items like cups. You can do everything pretty much with the M1 right off the bat as a crafting machine. And then this software also works with all of their machines, so you get multiple machines with one piece of software that's free right off the bat. Obviously, there's better like industrial software, like there's Illustrator, of course, but it costs money. Inkscape would probably be a good one to start out with too, because it's free, but it's not built in, and I'm just talking about the built-in software. But then there's like Lightburn too, but that does cost money as well, and a little bit more technical, not as user-friendly. But yeah, overall, if you're going to get a machine, I'm pretty impressed with XTool's like P2 laser that came out. I'd really recommend that. Or a Glowforge in this situation. If you're looking for true user-friendliness, in the future, hopefully WeCreate can catch up. I think they're falling a little bit behind on software, but like I said, they're a brand new company, so they need to catch up here for that. I'd like to see a lot of improvements with that here. But yeah, if you need a link to any of these machines, I'm going to put them down below if you're interested in a laser, so you can check that out as well. But yeah, other than that, the actual, all of the different options here, there's so many in XTool, which I covered in an entire different video. I made an entire video on its own for every feature. So check that out. I also made one for Glowforge as well, and I did make one with WeCreate whenever they first came out with their software. I may end up making a new one since they did an update here, but I think I'm going to wait until they update and hopefully change this to a color grouping option before making another video on that. Other than that, if I missed anything or repeated myself or didn't say something, let me know down in the comments below if you have a question on these, and then I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Other than that, I hope you found this useful, and we'll catch you guys in the next video here.